What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy AyeThatsAaron, and we're back again with another Demon Slayer the Hinokami Chronicles 2 video. And today we're gonna be talking about the young man Muichiro, and we're gonna talk about his moveset because we were able to see him play in the Jump Festa 2025 game demo build. And so of course I want to talk about his moveset because honestly he has been a fan favorite character for a hot minute, and I feel like I would not be doing him justice if I did not talk about his moveset. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video for real. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, just let your boy Aaron know. Without further ado, let's get in the video, shall we? Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said in the intro of the video, we're going to be talking about Muichiro. Yes, the Miss Hashira. If you guys did not know, he was playable at the open offline demo build for the Jump Festa 2025, and so we had some amazing gameplay footage from Fun Only Naruto where we were able to see the young man in action. Now honestly, Muichiro looks like he's going to be a very interesting character, and I already kind of like his setup, so let's just get into the basics. Alright, number one, we're going to look at his basically his movesets, right? If you guys remember, in Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 1, you basically get two super attacks, right? You have your guard, correction, not your super attack. You have your guard ability, and you have your normal ability. And then you have the other ability, like, so you have three abilities, right? For example, with Tanjiro, he had Water Wheel, Waterfall Basin, and they had Whirlpool, right? So he had three abilities. I completely forgot that it was three abilities. So with Muichiro, we're able to see one of his abilities. So it looks like with one of his abilities, he basically like dashes towards you and he does like a flurry of slashes. Now in the gameplay footage, you kind of see the person spamming that ability a lot, but it looks like it's one of those short range multi-slash, multi-hit kind of moves, which is pretty good actually. I do think that's pretty sick, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of curious on how it's going to work with him, because you know, if it's short range, then that might not be as viable, because if you guys did not know, the main problem in Hinokami Chronicles 1 was the demons that had that long range, and that was the real main problem with it. So I don't know how he's going to be able to stand his ground against those kind of characters, but who knows, we'll be able to figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, number two, we're going to look at his second ability. So his second ability looks like it's like this kind of dash where it looks like it goes into a lunge, and it could basically be a two-part input. It looks like Muichiro is doing a lunge towards the opponent where it looks like he's stabbing them, and then the second input of it is him slashing him backwards, right? I don't think the person fully did the attack all the way, because it looks like there might be more following up with it. But if you guys look at his breathing bar, he does a dash and then he does a slash right afterwards, and who knows, it might be one of those like flurry of attacks like how it is for sudden breathing Tanjiro in Hinokami Chronicles 1, where if you just keep repeating the input, you'll keep doing more hits. And I think that's probably what it is. We just weren't able to see it fully implemented because the person kind of didn't know what they were doing. But yeah, so it looks like our second ability is basically like a lunge forward, kind of like stab kind of thing, and then leads into like a slash afterwards. That might be able to be followed up on afterward, who knows. And finally, it looks like they gave my boy Muichiro for his last ability, which I'm assuming is going to be like his guard ability. It looks like they gave him a parry similar to how Gyu's parry is in Hinokami Chronicles 1. Because when you see him going against that Tanjiro, you see that he takes the stance of the parry. You see that there was that brief bubble being around him, and you see that his body is covered in mist. And then it takes away from some of his energy bar, which is his like basically kind of like his chakra bar, means he activated the move, and it leads into a slash. So it looks like my boy has a parry. Now, are you able to follow up on that? That is the hard part about it, but based off of how Tanjiro fell down, even though he was just him dying, I don't think that it left room for like, it doesn't leave room for any like attacks after that. So yeah, so overall, this basically he has a nice little moveset. He looks like he's basically focused on like short range dashes, and then on top of that, the parry. So I kind of like that a lot. And then outside of the person who's playing using just their abilities, we're able to see him do basically a few hit combos, his basic light strings, which is pretty nice. I do like how Muichiro is looking overall. Next, we're going to be talking about his ultimate attack, and then we're going to end up talking about his joint attack, and then we're going to talk about his surge animation. So ladies and gentlemen, we were able to get a glimpse of what his ultimate looks like, and I'm gonna put that whole up on screen. My boy covers himself in mist, and then he goes in with a flurry of slashes. I honestly think his ultimate looks kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think they kind of snatch with that stuff, and I feel like that mist is gonna be kind of hard to fight against, but I want them to make the mist a little bit thicker. I want people to not know fully how they're fighting Muichiro, if that makes sense, because I want it to feel kind of lore accurate, you know. So I want them to make the mist a little bit more heavy so he could be somewhat of a high tier character. I'm not saying I want him to be broken, but I want him to be high tier for sure. For the next part of his ultimate, we have a joint ultimate attack with him and the Love Hashira, and I'm gonna put that up on screen, where basically they just go in where they're utilizing his smoke, and then they are just going in with the slashes. Now, Fun Only Naruto stated that on Twitter. He stated that to activate the joint attack, the joint ultimate, they had 2 bars of like basically meter to be able to use. But see, I'm not 100% sure if you need 2 bars specifically, or if you just need enough for an ultimate in general, right? But he said that, you know, they had 2 bars. He activated the ultimate, which was not a crazy input to put in, which was just typically pressing R2, and then activated the ultimate. Now, if you guys did not know, they did confirm that characters will have joint ultimate attacks. Now, the conditions of them being joint ultimate attacks has not been clear yet. Because I thought it was going to be like a Storm Connection kind of situation, but actually it just seems like if you have the ultimate, you could be able to use that attack point blank, and I think that's really neat. So yeah, so far we have a confirmation that Muichiro has a joint ultimate with Mitsuri. The only problem is we don't know if he has a joint ultimate attack with anybody else. It would make sense for him to have one with maybe Tanjiro, but who knows. But it'd be pretty cool if all the Hashira had one together, though. I think that'd be pretty sick. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, from our boy Muichiro, whenever he goes into his surge animation, he gets himself his Slayer mark. Now, you guys are probably thinking to yourself, Aaron, what's the difference with him having his Slayer mark activated? And to be honest with you guys, I do not fully know. If you guys remember in the first game, if you go into the surge animation, that basically means you're able to use any of your super attacks indefinitely, because you will have infinite meter for that for the specific time being. Now, I don't know if the Slayer mark is going to be any game-changing, revolutionary mechanic, but, you know, it is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if the Slayer mark was more of an aesthetic kind of thing, because I don't really see them changing anything else, you know what I'm saying, because of it. Maybe you might get a damage increase, maybe you might get the speed of your attacks increase, who knows. But for the most part, they have that for most of the characters. Well, no, some of the characters do have their own individual stats and stuff like that. So maybe characters who have the Slayer mark may be able to be more faster, do a little bit more damage, who knows. But yet they give my boy his Slayer mark for his surge animation. And ladies and gentlemen, that's basically all we got from my boy Muichiro. Overall, he's looking like a pretty solid character. He has those slash attacks, which are going to be very helpful. He has a parry on top of that. He has a joint ultimate with Mitsuri, which is going to be very fun to use online. And his ultimate looks pretty sick. And I'm happy that they added in a good amount of mist for his attack animations, because it's going to make him a very interesting character to fight. Now, I want to see how they're going to play the other Hashira out, because I think that's going to be really sick to see online. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know your guys' thoughts on Muichiro in the comment section. Do you guys like the way that they handled the characters? Do you guys hate the way they handled the character? Please let your boy Aaron know. Until next time, peace out.
Hey, where's real?